Nano.
क्या ये देखो, मैंने 3 डाला है क्वेश्चन। जो लिखा है मैंने 3 क्वेश्चन लिखा है खुद से, अब मतलब कि उसमें से थोड़ा थोड़ा देख के खुद से लिख के, तो मेरा वही मेरे को लग रहा है इंट्रो बहुत बड़ा हो गया है। इंट्रो बड़ा ही जगह, क्योंकि इसमें वो 3 चीज का पूछा है, एजुकेशनल, अकम्पलिशमेंट और एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर। क्या
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Confirm the audio and the video once. Hey, Shri Hari, Zeel, Abhig. I can see a lot of similar names. Sonali, Amrinder. I think I do not remember you. Hey, Shovik, how are you doing? Tulsi, Pooja, Jaswant, Radhika, Arunabha, Kushi is there. Perfect. Why don't you guys open your cameras? Let's make it interactive. There are very few opportunities that we get in which we can see each other and talk to each other. The normal studio classes that is not possible, isn't it? So it's like this is the time after CAD in which we can actually interact. And this session is all about that only, a proper interaction. Obviously, we're talking about the psychology of the interviewer, how those guys think. In fact, I'll share certain things in which there will be a general consensus, a kind of a combined aggregate of how different interviewers might be thinking. And also, I'll give you some personal experience in which I took interviews of some people. It can be hiring interview, it can be different sorts of interviews. But right now, it'll be all about the B school selection. And first of all, congratulations to all of you, everyone over here. And I assume that all of you have kind of cracked cat with flying colors in certain cases, and others who are there. So I welcome all of you. How many of you are someone whom I do not know or you don't know me? Do we have anyone like that? It's only Shovik who is confident, right, Shovik? You look good. Yeah, you can talk to me.
I didn't want to miss a chance to talk to.
All right. So how are you feeling now after scoring such a nice score?
For a few days, I felt really nice. Now the tension is back. कौन से 20 में मिलेगा 10? Sad.
Exactly. वो तो है ही है. So the ambition, dedication, and stress, all these things, all the human emotions, they follow the sinusoidal waveform, like a sine wave, goes up, then goes down, and keeps on happening. So probably you are at D, it might be declining a bit, but don't worry, I've got your back, and we'll be discussing a lot of things. Also, we have planned a few sessions, PI sessions per head with everyone. So it will be starting soon. All right. Hey, Gaurav. First, I'll try to share my screens with you. My screen is okay. Where is that? This one. Perfect. Is my screen visible to you guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Great.
sir.
Great. And also, you guys can, at times, when you want to ask certain questions, unmute yourself and take the advantage of the Zoom classes. In studio, you cannot talk to me, right? You just comments. But here, you can actually talk. You can unmute yourself and talk to me in case it is required. So let's start there. It'll be understanding psychology of interviewer. सुनने में काफी अजीब लग रहा है. इंटरव्यू साइकोलॉजी हम सब कैसे समझेंगे, हम तो इंटरव्यूईज हैं, है ना. वो काम तो उसका है समझने का. तो आखिर जरूरी क्यों है ये बात कि हम साइकोलॉजी इंटरव्यूअर की समझ जाएं. सो आई इनवाइट सम आंसर्स. व्हाट डू यू थिंक, व्हाई इज इट, लेट्स इंटरैक्ट. व्हाई डू थिंक इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड साइकोलॉजी ऑफ इंटरव्यूअर?
So that we can frame our answers accordingly, uh, to make sure that we are fulfilling what he or she wants us to answer.
Great answer, Dheeraj. Anyone else?
For me, it's more like sales. पहले मैंने sales किया तो उसमें you need to know the customer well. So we speak in their terms.
Okay. Sales. Are you into sales? Are you working somewhere, Shavik?
I had my own startup, as I said, so I used to do marketing and sales. So
Okay. So you
talking to
might be.
clients was similar.
Great. How many of you are working somewhere, working professionals? Like, you know what? Obviously, this is being facilitated by me, but a lot of people are there who have somehow crossed that level of being a student, and now they are becoming professionals. And you guys can also share your anecdotes that what happened. Like you're working somewhere, you have the experience of maybe interviewing people or analyzing a lot of data. Sonali is there. Sonali, yeah, tell us, enlighten us.
So yeah, I have worked for 3 years, and I think it's important to know the psychology of interview because it will, like Souvik said, how as a company we want to know what the customer wants, and accordingly we sell the pitch to them so they buy our product. So if we know the psychology of interviewer, we can frame our answers accordingly. It will be easy for us to impress them and crack it.
All right, nice. Anyone else?
Sir, to add this, like it helps us to gauge the personality of interviewer. So, like if it's someone who wants very brief answer, so we can try to give brief answer. If there's someone who want like explanations or some real life incidents, like through one to two initial question, we can understand that and then have the interview in that manner, so that it's interesting for the other person.
All right, good. It's a great answer. Who else wants to contribute here?
Obviously, sir, to satisfy them with our answer.
Just one. Yeah, yeah. Come again.
To satisfy them with our answer, sir.
Satisfy the interview with your answers. All right. चलो एक काम करते हैं. I pick someone at random and ask a basic question. All right. Let's see whether you satisfy me or not. Okay. Who wants to volunteer here? I would be happy, you guys in front of me. That'll be really great. But right now, given the circumstances, who wants to volunteer? I think it's Amrinder. Great, Amrinder. So unmute yourself and let's see.
Sure, sir.
So Amrinder, what do you think uh, is the problem with the education system in India?
Sir, can you repeat your answer? Like there was your question, like there was some network issue on my end.
Yeah, sure. What do you think is the major problem with the education system in India?
Sure. I think the major problem in educational system in India is uh, quality of education. So I have been through Indian education system, and what I see is we are more focused on theories and not on concepts. Like we have very limited practical learning, the lab experiments and all in most of the schools, especially government schools, start for students from class 8th. So till class 7, you don't have any practical exposure and you are mostly exposed to those big textbooks. So in a way, your thinking is not developing, I feel, correctly because you're not experimenting, you're just learning. So this is one of the biggest issue that Indian education system is facing currently.
Okay. So that means your answer gives me enough idea that you have somehow thought upon that how can this thing be developed. So can you give a practical example of if, let's say, you are heading the academics of some institute or maybe some university. So give me any one example from your background which you can do to enhance the practical application, practical knowledge of students.
Yeah, sure. I think I can give example of a primary school here. So, we teach children about different classes of animals, like aquatic animals, and then land animals and reptiles and all. So, what I feel is, um, we can teach those things like by some regular visits to like a national park or a zoo that is nearby to the school, so that in a way the students have real life exposure. They get to know like, yeah, this kind of animal is a mammal, this one is a reptile and all, so that because when they see anything they'll remember it, and they'll be able to relate that thing in future. So this is one way they can do.
Okay, I suggest one thing. As I told earlier, you should be opening your cameras and specifically when you're speaking, because I want you to read your facial expressions. That is very important, and that is the entire agenda of having it on Zoom. Otherwise, we could have done it on studio as well, right? So, Aminder, that's a great answer, I would say. There are some problems, but obviously, agenda of today's session is not to tell you the feedback of the question that I asked. Just that I wanted all of you to get in the feeling of this, the PI. So coming back to the slides that you can see here, understanding the psychology of interviewer. First thing, what does the interviewer want to know? Your fit, alignment with program values and culture. Now, program values, what does that mean? And culture. Program values, the program which you have applied for, it can be PGD BM, it can be PGDM, it can be MBA, it can be also stream that you want to go into. Let's say some people are from agriculture background and they have calls from I'm Ahmedabad or I'm Lucknow for this ABM, agribusiness management. They can be people who want to go into rural management, let's say IRMA. So depending on the kind of different, the programs, obviously, in most of the colleges, the first year is almost same, and then comes the major, minor specializations. So it depends on program to program. So basically, in different colleges, different universities, different B schools, the different programs, and based on what you have applied for, what your interest lies in. So interview wants you to know whether you have those values or not. You actually understand that maybe do you have the background there? And if you don't have the background, then what is it? For example, I was talking to some girl yesterday, and she is a dentist, and she wanted to, kind of transition into management. Well, so first question comes to the interest mind. Oh, you're a dentist. Why? Why you are kind of leaving dentistry and going into management? That is the first question. So you should understand the value of management first of all, then the value of the program you applied for, and then the value of the stream if if it is relevant there. Also the culture. No, when they say culture, what is culture? संस्कृति कि आपको महाभारत रामायण आती है कि नहीं? Not really, not that culture. The culture, the culture of the B school, the culture of the management, the culture. Are you ready for that culture or not? So in fact, if I talk about the top B schools, let's say IIMs, the kind of training is so rigorous that it can be compared with military training minus the physical efforts. You understand that? So, are you ready for that culture? That is one thing. So depends on the college, depends on the kind of culture that college is promoting. Culture can be collaborative environment, it can be cooperation. So you might be great in your subject, you must have done, probably you have done engineering, or you have done, let's say, English literature, or maybe mathematics honors, economics honors. So you might be great on paper. You have scored enough decent percentile, and also you have done, let's say you have published some research papers as well. So you are someone who is great. But my B school wants more collaborative people, So excellence is something which is obviously primary need. But after that, in a B school, it's all about how you collaborate, because business administration is all about collaboration. You understand that, all of you? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So are you collaborative? You know what? I'll be putting some questions to you, being an interviewer, and I'll get to know that what kind of cooperative, collaborative skills you have. I can, trick you into saying something which you did not intended to. That is possible, and that will happen in the PA rounds. Coming to the next point. So there's an example also. Highlight leadership experiences with this. Just a minute. Yeah, highlight leadership experiences if the B school values it. Leadership. So there are some B schools who are famous for entrepreneurship. You know, a very famous example of IITs is IIT Roorkee. In fact, have you heard about this startup called Class Plus? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So the founder is, I know him personally. He's a friend of my very close friend. So IIT Roorkee has a kind of, a culture of entrepreneurship. A lot of people become entrepreneurs there. The reason is simple. First of all, IIT Roorkee is the first college of India, engineering college. MBA बाद में आया वहाँ पे. So they have a huge alumni network, huge. And obviously, when the network is strong and people into business administration, so they have some kind of, it's like you are growing in a field of people who somehow want to become entrepreneurs. Moreover, there is a kind of overlap of cultures of technology and MBA at the same time in IITs. So that is one example. IIT Bombay is also an example. So leadership experiences, entrepreneurship. So depending on the college and the culture that they provide, or and the kind of culture that is provided by the college is not exactly by the college. That should be understood. The culture is majorly built by the alumni. That should be kept in mind. It's not your undergrad studies in which you go and you are someone and other people are something else, and you go there, probably you make friends and do things. But here what happens, it's like a B school in itself is an organism, an individual, and students are just the organs of that huge organism. Undergrads, it was not like that. All of you are individuals, right? So you can have your own thing, all that stuff is there, but their collaboration is something which is paramount. That is very important. So whenever you frame your answers, somehow you should be subtly using the keywords in which collaboration and cooperation should be there, and that should be highlighted in a very subtle way, right? So someone reads your answers, or maybe they listen to your answers, your replies. They should start feeling, okay, this person, he or she, they value cooperation. That is the most important skill. And again, it can be leadership, entrepreneurship, it can be any kind of management activity you've been part of. You can be prefect of your schools, your colleges. So all that stuff is there. So you should also, kind of be ready for with certain examples from your own life in which you showed some kind of leadership. If not leadership, then some kind of cooperation, collaboration, right? You understand that? So let's say in your college, you were the head of placement committee, or not placement, let's say head of cultural committee. Not all can be heads, isn't it? So there are in a college like SRCC, there's a kind of the cultural committee is there. So in which there'll be like 20 people from, let's say, the final year, then some from the second year and first year. So all cannot be heads, obviously. Does that mean that you don't have leadership? Not really. It also means that probably you are learning how to become a leader, isn't it? By bringing in the values to your previous stints in any kind of cultural committee, whatever, sports committee, whatever you're interested in. Some people say कि मेरे को तो मैं तो कल्चरल कमेटी में भी नहीं था, मैं तो स्पोर्ट्स कमेटी में भी नहीं थी, मैं तो, है ना? There are a lot of people like that, isn't it? तो वो क्या करने, वो क्या बोलेंगे? तो बड़ी मुश्किल हो जाएगी. I think a lot of people are thinking this when I'm speaking this, in the simultaneously बहुत से लोग सोच रहे होंगे, यार ये बातें हैं, हमने तो किया ही नहीं है ना? तो कितने लोग ऐसे हैं जो सोचते हैं कि उन्होंने कोई भी किसी भी कमिटी का पार्ट नहीं थे, ना उसको लीड किया था और ना उसके अंदर कुछ कोऑपरेट किया था. आर देयर सम पीपल लाइक दैट?
So, as for me, I've been part of the finance society of my college and I've taken leadership roles in my second year and final year. But I still feel like that if I want to bring it up in my intro or anything like that, so how do I be polite about it that I'm not trying to brag or something like that?
uh, let's do it right away. So, Kushi, let's say I'm the interviewer and I'm asking you, tell me an example of your leadership skill, in your previous stint. What for you exactly in your college?
Okay. So I hold a bachelor's degree in commerce from the acing College, Delhi University. And during my time in the college, I have had the opportunity to be the part of finance club of my college.
Which
Uh,
club? Which club?
Finance club.
Finance club. Okay.
Yes. And during the first year, I was a part of the marketing department. And in the second year, I had the opportunity to lead the department with a team of more than 30 people, uh, where I learned valuable skills such as organizing events and managing teams uh, while creating and fostering a collaborative environment and growth for
Okay,
me
Kushi.
and
So tell me an example in which you must have collaborated with different people. You must have called some people for maybe interviews, podcast. Does that happen?
yes, I've taken multiple interviews during my college so as to recruit new members in the team, junior members.
Not just
And
that,
then,
not just that. Let's say you're inviting some speaker from outside,
yes.
and in the last moment, in the 11th hour, he say or she says, "Oh, I'm not available." Okay, and that is very important for you have the printed the pamphlets, you have spread across everywhere. All the communications have been done, branding has been done, and in the end moment, he or she says, "No, I'm not available." Then has it happened with you?
So my experience with all the speakers and guests we have invited as honorary speakers have been really good, and they have all been very professional and have honored their words and have appeared. But also in a situation like this, what we can do is somehow replace a speaker with a person who is available to us. We are familiar with the person and is able to appear on that particular day and
See, you
apologize to
see,
the
this
audience.
is this is where you're faltering actually. So you asked me. No, by the way, you asked me something else, but now it is something else.
Yeah.
The moment you said that I had the opportunity of working with nice people and professional people, you are somehow implying the person who did not turn up at the 11th hour is not professional,
Okay. Yeah,
right?
I understand.
Getting it? So these are the subtle words through which, obviously, I'll be taking some interviews of yours, I'll be giving feedback. This is a feedback which is very general. Now you understand it. Now, about bragging, you're not bragging at all. So,
Okay.
the fear that you had in mind is not there. It's,
Okay.
it's, it's irrelevant. But the more relevant thing is this, in which you somehow,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I came across
subconsciously,
like that. I
unconsciously,
understand.
yes. So this is how, I'm an interviewer. So I think about, okay, है तो सोचेगी नहीं क्यों नहीं किया है वो सीधा सोच लेगी बंदा अनप्रोफेशनल है
Okay. Yeah.
so these are the very minute things. Varsha wants to say something. Yeah, Varsha.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Very
Yeah,
good.
this is the problem with me. Get the time to participate in any kind of cultural event or anything like that. So, what should I do at that point of
That's the
time?
point. A lot 3-4 साल तक बहुत लोग ऐसे होंगे जो उस कोविड वाले पीरियड के अंदर ग्रेजुएशन किया होगा है ना तो ये एक बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है एग्जैक्टली सो दैट इज द फॉलो अप क्वेश्चन द मोमेंट यू से मैं इस टाइम पीरियड में मैंने पास आउट किया है तुमने बताया मेरे को मेरा अगला क्वेश्चन क्या है ठीक है स्कूल में कुछ किया होगा यू सेड यस आई डिड दैट सो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन विल बी ऑन स्कूल the problem will be the people who have not done any kind of co-curricular or extracurricular activity. वो प्रॉब्लम लग रही होगी पर उसके भी जवाब हैं सही करने के क्या जवाब होना चाहिए
Okay.
वर्षा यू टेल any kind of cultural or any committee and not even a member of it there are a lot of people like that so what should they do
College projects.
college projects वो भी नहीं किए किसी
Yeah, वो भी नहीं.
मान लो एक ऐसा इंसान है जिसने ना कुछ खास किया नहीं है वो मतलब कॉलेज में जाके केवल थोड़ी आवारागर्दी करता था घूमता फिरता था ये सब चीजें कर रहा है उसके लेट से 6.5 CGPA आ गया बट ही गॉट 99.9 percentile in CAT here's a call from let's say I am Calcutta I am कोलकाता एंड उसने ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं करा है पर वो वहां पहुंच गया है उसे क्या करना चाहिए ऐसे सवालों पे
कुछ भी नहीं किया. Studies में भी कुछ नहीं किया. Then obviously he has to prove that where he was investing his time.
हाँ,
Somehow he needs to, convince the interview that he was not wasting his time. He was actually, putting it somewhere in something
okay
meaningful.
I think there is someone who wanted to someone raised their hand who was that Anshika yeah Anshika
Yeah, I just had a suggestion. If they have hobbies in their personal life, which maybe they didn't pursue in college or didn't have a significant contribution to, they can just read up everything about it and make up a little story.
make up a story, huh? I'll
Yeah.
catch you if you make a story. Anyways, so you have to be a pretty good liar. Your left side of brain must be really active to lie in such a way that they don't detect. And you know what? People are really smart. at least in the good B schools. Anyways, I'll tell you what. See, there's no harm in saying that you did not do something earlier. You know what? People or the people or the other people who try to achieve.
Who try to achieve.
Exactly. You know why? Because if you are entering a B school, you should not be a hard marble, hard stone. You should be clay. A clay which is, which has some kind of experience of pressure, and probably the course for which, I being the examiner, let's say the professor, I want you to mold into something which, which is relevant to the business world. So I would be majorly looking at the trainability. So the best answer would be, yeah, sir, ma'am. See, at that time, I was, kind of maybe observing the world phenomenon. That was what my interest lied in. And slowly and steadily, I grew up watching some documentaries, maybe some movies also. Movies can change life. Maybe some any comedy show, any kind of. I read a book, or maybe it's not just hobby. Something. See, when who was that? I just forgot the name. Bajpayee, right? So yeah, when she said make a story with a hobby, so no, that's not required. If you make a story with a hobby which will not be relevant to the B school, it's okay. It's not a bad thing. But because you haven't done something which is a good, great reply to this kind of question, in that case, you can essentially talk about some kind of activity, and all people have done it. You know what? If you ask me, what did you learn from a movie like, let's say, Animal? Okay, सुनने में अजीब लग रहा है एनिमल से क्या सीख सकता है कोई nobody can learn anything from animal, isn't it? But you know what? So see, if you can learn leadership, management, collaboration, cooperation from movie like Animal, which was touted to be a toxic movie, that means you are the person who can see the bright side of all the things. Getting it? Right? So this is how you will be able to convince the interviewer that somehow, you have been through different instances of life, and probably you have not done something which looks worthwhile, but at the very same time, the most worthy thing that you have done is you have learned. You have learned, and the most relevant example to that is the score that you have obtained in the CAT, which means in the last 1 year, you have done really well, and you're ready to face the world or the challenges, or even learn things. So this is the best answer, but is honest, not making any stories, will convince the interviewer that okay, this guy or this girl wants to learn. Getting it? This is for the
Yes,
people,
sir.
this is the people who think that they have not done anything worthwhile. Good to go. So I think all of you agree to it.
Yes, sir.
Only Kushi is saying yes. Others,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes.
So now Gaurav wants to say something. Yes, Gaurav.
academics, but I should have done something. Like either it might be like someone has a bad, childhood. That could be a possible reason. Someone might be getting some extra mental pressures. So with all these, he can still I one premises that I need to assume that I have got 99.9 percentile. So getting a 99.9 percentile from a 6.5 CGPA, I was being a non-consistent in my whole life, and now in the past 1 year I've been consistent. So if the other thing is that I should be, if I had done that, I should have the more hunger. Okay. So definitely when compared to the other people, I should getting a 99 percentile with inconsistent might add something And the second thing is that the man should have some great purpose or vision.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he woke up and he had thought like, no, now let's I need to be in the top 1% of India. So
Hmm.
he should have some vision, so he can conclude with that the vision. And first you need to accept that where he is, and then he articulates a story from low to the higher point of the life. And he can also ask in a politely way, okay, I was being inconsistent, but it's now that I have worked up, so should I not get a chance to correct my correct my chances, or getting a new life ahead.
Yes, yes, great.
So growth
I,
mindset,
I,
agile mindset is quite important. I think
exactly,
they will must look into that.
exactly. I think we should give him a round of applause because that's what I wanted to hear. It's really great. And at the very same time, like what Gaurav said, I'll summarize it in a quote. And the quote is, the wolf who is climbing the hill is hungrier than the one who is already at the top. Right? You get that? I'll repeat. The wolf who is climbing on the hill is hungrier than the wolf who's already at the top. Did you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Zeel wants to say something. Yeah, Zeel.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. You know, Zeel, if you come in front of me, let's say I'm taking the interview, the first thing I'll ask, what I'll ask, what I will ask, what's the meaning of your name?
Sir, it means a lake in Gujarati. I'm from Gujarat, so it means a lake, a serene lake. Jheel. Jheel is the word, but we pronounce it Z here in Gujarat, so it's Zeel.
I heard it's Zeal, Zeel, Zeel.
No, it's Z-double-E-L, Zeel.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I had a question about the relevance thing you said about the hobby. That how do I know the culture of that college, and how do I make sure that the hobbies and the passions that I pursued in my life are relevant to the interviewer? How do
Great
I
question.
make myself sound relevant?
Yes, that's a great question. See, are you working? Zeel, you're working, right?
Yes, sir. I'm working.
Okay. So if you plan on, joining some company, the first thing they do is research about that company, isn't it? You do that.
Yes.
All of us
Yes.
do that.
ADPI
Research about
सेक्शन भी
because
कुछ
the
चल रहा
college
है
which we Tanish, can you just mute yourself for a while? Yeah. So Zeel, it happens like with the college. You should read things about that college, on the website, and also the platforms like Reddit, the alumni network. They might be saying things about there. So all these things. In fact, you know what? There's one thing which is very common among all the business administration people, जो आमतौर पे अंडरग्रेड्स और स्कूल में नहीं मिलता। पता है क्या? तुम सुन के दंग रह जाओगे। एक तो टॉपर सिंड्रोम सुना है? टॉपर सिंड्रोम, you know that, right?
Yes. Huh.
Toppers just try to hide things from others, isn't it? It happens in schools,
Huh.
in colleges. But people who are into business administration, they don't hide things. And they
Yeah.
love helping others. So if you kind of right now you go and connect to some alumni of any B school and try to ask him or her genuine questions, they'll be ready to help you. And this is seen a lot in a city like Bangalore. In Bangalore, if you are there, you're living there, you automatically go to some person, कोई founder के पास जाओगे कि आपने कैसे शुरू किया था idea, he or she will tell you each and everything, every step. They won't be, kind of scared that you will steal that or maybe walk above them. This culture is built automatically in a B school just after one trimester. That is there. So, Adil, can you just mute yourself? Adil, 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 please mute yourself. Okay. So, तो जब आप रिसर्च कर लोगे उस कॉलेज के बारे में तो ऑटोमेटिकली you'll get to know a lot of things and your hobbies, even if your hobby is, let's say, numismatics. You know what is numismatics?
No, I
Person
don't
who
have
collects
any idea
coins.
about it.
Huh?
A person who collects coins, who's into coin collection.
Exactly, Harshit. Coin collection. Now, coin collection is a hobby. इसका इफेक्ट, इसका कोई संबंध है क्या बी स्कूल में किसी चीज से? If you are articulate enough, if you can tell a story, see, everything basically, it's all about storytelling, be it marketing, be it branding, anything, any sales pitch, but it's basically a story, right? So if you can connect somehow numismatics, the length and breadth to which you went, to collect a coin, let's say you collect a coin from the Babar's era, that shows your dedication. Getting it? So all hobbies in this world can somehow be transformed through a great story, which is not even lie, not even false, which can show some kind of skill of yours, majorly dedication and kind of the commitment that you have. So I think that answers your query. Coming to, I got some comments here. Um, mm, 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 mm. Shreyas, Shreyas, what happened? Naman can't tell a lie. No, no, Naman, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, and Sankalp says, part of Dramatic Society, Fest Organizing Committee, my college, I have organized many events or some organization. Okay, dispose, professional trainings, you don't have any certificates. You don't have any certificates for them. Sankalp, if it is possible, then contact the college and get the certificates made, if it is possible. If not, you can just uh, they might be. I think they might not be providing certificates. That might be the case. You can tell that okay, I don't have certificates, but there are things which I have done, and then they will probably ask you give an example, and then they can give the example. But the best thing is to contact the college and try to get the certificates. Well, now, Shreyas. Yeah, Shreyas.
Yeah, hi sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, like I've started to learn to play the flute in last 4 to 5 months, and I'm planning to
Learned what? Learned what?
flute.
Flute. Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I'm planning to mention it in my tell me about yourself that I'm amateur or beginner in flute learning. So, like, is it fine if I mention or it will backfire?
You can mention, obviously. So
Uh,
you cannot be a pro in just the first day, right? Pro
right,
is not
first.
built in a day. But you are doing it, it's a great thing. But it's not look like that you are going into to be an artist. That
Yes.
will backfire. So don't talk much about it. Otherwise, the interviewers can feel that this guy wants to be a musician, probably not a business administrator. So that won't be great idea. So don't emphasize more on that.
Like avoid cricket, but someone mentioned that Yash mentioned yesterday, do not say cricket and all. It is very generic and it can backfire. So, like, I was thinking of mentioning as a flute. So, like,
Yeah. So if you mention flute, they can ask that where learning it from. Maybe do you have some teacher, or there can be a YouTube video, or maybe they can also ask that who is your favorite flute artist. So these kind of questions can be asked. Okay, and why cricket backfires? You know why? Because in cricket they can ask n number of things. It's
right.
infinite. So that's the thing. But also, if they ask what hobbies, you say that. Otherwise, it's not even required.
Okay, sir, got it, got it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Piyush,
Hi, sir. Good evening.
good evening.
I wanted to ask that if I say and tell me about yourself that I'm involved in my family business and I am a EWS student, so will it backfire me?
I think you must have applied through AWS only.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What kind of business is there?
It's a manufacturing business of shirts, men's and boys.
But can you prove it's you belong to AWS category?
Yes, I have a proper document, original document. It's authenticated.
Piyush, for this, I need more information. So I think you connect to me personally for this. Uh,
Okay.
this is a question which requires more insights.
Now, where can I connect with you?
When we'll be having PI rounds now, at that
Okay,
time,
sir.
I'm going to ask that. Basically, we will ask you to provide a resume through which we ask questions.
And
Well,
sir, one more question.
yeah.
Sir, if we are going to the interview, we have to prepare a file, and what document should be there present in that file?
Uh, First is your CAT scorecard, obviously. Then, if there is any kind of discrepancy in your scorecard or maybe in your form filling, if you have a printout of it, that also should be there. Then your academic certificates, mark sheets, start from present to past, like graduation first, then 12th, then 10th. If also a kind of activities that you have done, co-curricular, extracurricular, been part of any group. So all those things should be there as much as possible. So whatever you have done in life, just put it everything. Just that it should be from
Okay,
present to past. Chronological sequence is important.
okay, sir. And sir, one more question. If I have a latest developed interest in stock market, but I don't know more about the technical analysis, so can it also backfire?
Obviously, don't say that. Any kind of technicality in which statistics or mathematics is required is important. And if you're just a beginner in that, don't say that. That can actually backfire.
And so, what can I say that for hobbies like, can you just help me out?
Obviously. The PI round, I'll do that. Okay, so you're fit. We have talked about the first thing, motivation, reasons for pursuing an MBA at the other institution. So the things that we have talked about, I think this covers up these three points: your fit, your motivation, your unique value, entrepreneurial things. So I think we have discussed all of it, right? Into what does they want to know? Let's go to the next slide. Key traits they evaluate. Okay, I'll come to Amrinder and Dwarkesh in a while. Key traits they evaluate: confidence without arrogance, which I think someone, Kushi, probably she asked, can we, kind of we boast about things. So, no. See, there is when you assert something and when you order people, there's a difference in the tone, right? So when you say uh, nobody can, nobody in my college or in my class was better than me in, let's say, solving mathematical equations, or maybe planning or analyzing data, or be playing guitar. The moment you say these kind of words, it automatically it evokes a feeling that this person might be arrogant. Confidence is something in which you will say, yeah, I play guitar really well. That is confidence. It's not arrogance. Okay. Clarity of thought, it should be there. When I say clarity of thought, it means that you know what you want, you know what you're saying, you know what you're asking. That is the clarity. So basically, clarity will be coming only after you have, all the thoughts processed. And it is very difficult actually. But difficult in terms of the entire life. But on certain equations, for example, a B school interview, or maybe any kind of group discussion. So in these certain instances, clarity can be achieved through proper training, which can be done. The kind of sessions that we are taking right now, and we're giving you certain pointers, just prepare things on that. Probably, I think all of you have a pen and paper right now with you. Keep on noting down these points, and based on that, just read those points, think in your mind, try to write things, try to jot things up, and try to process the information, because the interview calls will be happening, I think, after 25-30 days. So till then, you should be living this idea, that you're going into a B school for MBA. Emotional intelligence, like it's like EQ. Um, Emotional intelligence is something which you see. I'll tell you what. Okay, anyone here is from psychology background? Psychology background, anyone? Just unmute yourself and say if you're from psychology background. No one.
So actually, I haven't studied psychology or anything, but I have attended multiple lectures and sessions in which
Hmm.
they teach about psychology and everything, because I was particularly interested in that aspect.
Okay. See, there are 8 different types of intelligence. Do you have an idea about that? Anyone? 8 different types. Okay, so you must have heard Einstein was the most intelligent man. After that, Hawkins became the most intelligent man. Then this girl, Judith Polgar, most intelligent human present on Earth right now. Right? You must have heard that. Haven't you, all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Uh, Sachin Tendulkar, is he intelligent?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. See, the thing is, what we think intelligence is, it's very fluid. It has got 8 different types, and in that, I'll give you with proper examples. The In not any particular order. One is called arithmetic intelligence, in which you have this thing about as the name suggests, numerical problems. You look at data, numbers, kind of love them, and you can deal with numbers. You can be a statistician, analyst, you can be an analyst. So the people who have this kind of travelers. For example, Christopher Columbus. For example, in our present day, it can be this guy from Discovery, Bear Grylls, right? So um, this is how intelligence. 8 varieties are there. I can say 8 sections. Like in CAT, we had 3 sections. All of you have gone through CAT, VRC, LRDI, and QA. In all these three, there were cutoffs, right? But the sum total of these 3 sections, the score is not equivalent to your percentile, is not equivalent to your. So sectional is different and overall is different. You might not be clearing one section, but still you'll be having a great score in overall CAT, right? So what happened? People like Einstein, they were not great in all 8. They're great in only 4. One is linguistic intelligence as well. People who can kind of articulate in linguistic, they can become writers, speakers, motivators. So normally we think that this guy is very intelligent. It's his or her combined aggregate score, just like CAT overall score. All right. When we say someone is genius, they are the people who have a score of at least 120 IQ score in all 8 types. Okay. So the only genius who are on this planet in terms of what we know about is Da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci. Probably second one might be Newton. So, this was out of context of this discussion, but emotional intelligence is something in which interpersonal, intrapersonal both are known to you. And this is the key trait that they will evaluate. Now, this thing also, you are born with it, but can you acquire it? That's the question. Some people will think, sir, मेरा तो ये इंटेलिजेंस है ही नहीं, मुझे किसी ने बताया नहीं था, ये है भी कि नहीं. Probably after session is over, you might be thinking, you will be sleeping, and thinking कि यार मेरे में है कि नहीं ये वाला, खुद को जानता हूँ क्या मैं? Lot of people will think, no, हम जानते ही नहीं अपने आप को, है ना? या कि बाकी लोग को समझ पाता हूँ क्या? हाँ, समझ पाता हूँ. नहीं नहीं, ये केस हुआ था, समझ नहीं पाया था, है ना? मेरा दोस्त था, मैंने कुछ ऐसा बोला था, बाद में लगा कि ऐसे नहीं, ऐसे बोलना चाहिए था. All that stuff. You might be thinking about your heartbreaks, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, they were there, you had a breakup, you felt, okay, नहीं, अगर मैं कुछ ऐसा करता तो ये ना होता. So probably I don't have that intelligence, right? So you'll be going through a lot of questions. Then you will get scared. यार ये ट्रेड वो evaluate कर लेंगे, हम क्या करें, हम क्या झूठ बोल पाएंगे, झूठ बोलना चाहिए क्या? So these questions will come to your mind. This is very normal. It's human. But tell you what, a survey suggests that there's no percentage given to it, that how much you are born with and how much you can acquire, but obviously you can acquire. And there has been an improvement of 6 points in all the intelligence aspects of people if they're trained for some weeks. Getting it? So you have to think about this, whether you have this intelligence or not, or you lack somehow. Make pointers. It's like, again, it's like preparing for CAT all over again, minus the VR, CLRDA, and cons. So make those pointers. Do I have this? Do I have that? कहाँ लगता है कि मेरे में ये है, कहाँ लगता है मेरे में नहीं है, वो सारे pointers लिखो. और उसके बाद you can acquire these traits. How you acquire that? That is something which I'll talk about in the next session. But first, you have to be ready with it. People might be telling you, write the SWOT: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. I'm telling you, write down these points as well. Make a huge essay out of you. your own personality, so that you know yourself. Once you are prepared with it, I cannot read all the answers. That is impossible for a human to do that. But based on whatever you have written, the entire essay, make the pointers, send it to me, discuss it over here, and I will try to answer as much as possible. Probably some people will be having same common points. And this exercise, which we are doing right now, this will be improving you at the very same time, because we're discussing it out in the public. These, I think, how many people are there? 80 something. So this will be a collaborative effort. You getting it? So what you will do in your B school, something similar, not in terms of the content, but in terms of the collaboration, will be something similar. So would you do that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. Problem solving ability. Now this is, all of you understand that problem solving ability, they will be giving you some problem. मतलब ये नहीं कि maths बोल देंगे बताओ 512 का square क्या होता है, not that. Problem solving can be, problems can be different, of different types. It can be, they can give you a case study, or they might be giving you a situation reaction test. Situation reaction. You put in a situation, react in 30 seconds. And you know what? Any one of you has gone through SSB, NDA, or CDS के through? Defense का interviews, SSB, Staff Selection Board, anyone? No. No?
Yes, sir.
Ashu, you have gone through it?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember in 15 minutes you have to answer 60 questions of SRT?
Yes, sir.
15 मिनट में 60 सवाल. There's a statement given to you. You have to mark the best possible option. No, not mark. You have to write it. Think about it.
We have to write a small sentence, whatever
Yes,
we have.
60 questions in 15 minutes. You know what? You can lie for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 questions. After that, your real person will come out. So they can
Exactly.
give you situation reaction as well. They won't be giving you 60 questions ka pura wo. But obviously they can give you one situation and will give you some time, a few seconds to solve that. So depends on what kind of interview is going on, what kind of interviewer is there. And that is the reason why you need to understand interviewer psychology, because interviewers are also humans and every human is different. Obviously, they're trained humans in psychological evaluation, or also they can be not just in the board of interviewers, the panel. The people are from different fields. They can be probably from some academia. Some will be experts in current affairs, GK, and there'll always be one person expert in psychology. They will look at everything you do, your movement, your fingers, your hand movement, how your feet is there, rested. And you won't believe if I tell you something, the speed at which your eye blinks, they will even, capture that. Not all the B schools, but the best B schools, they have those kind of psychologists. And do you know, in fact, have you felt that when you become nervous, you feel some kind of warmth behind your earlobes? Hot हो जाता है? Feel किया? गर्दन पे भार आ जाएगा.
Yes, sir.
Felt that? You know what? But you have not seen one thing. You felt that. If you look at the color of earlobes, it changes. It becomes redder. So body never lies. You can lie with your tongue, whatever you want to, but your body will never lie. There will always be people who will be, getting it. And moreover, 90% of all the communication is non-verbal. कमाल की बात नहीं है. और इतनी लैंग्वेज हमने लिख ली है, हम इंसानों ने बना ली है, पढ़ते हैं, सुनते हैं, बोलते हैं, उसके बाद भी वो केवल 10% ही मैटर करता है. Rest is 90% non-verbal. That's in body language. That's the warmth, or there comes the emotional intelligence. The warmth that you are, you might be showing to the world that you are someone who cares a lot. You know what? But that shows on your face, whether you really care or you're faking it. It shows the warmth. So people, get it completely. It's 90%. Kamal ki baat hai. So think about it. If those 90% had some kind of verbal form, then what kind of information would the world be equipped with? 90% is lost. That is just understood, not written anywhere. What are you thinking? Is this candidate a future leader? Can they handle challenges effectively? When they say leader, now leader is a word which has been used in malleable circumstances. लीडर का मतलब ये नहीं कि तुम अपने किसी कंपनी में जाते ही सीईओ बन जाओगे या सीएक्सओ बन जाओगे. लीडर के साथ साथ एट द वेरी सेम टाइम फ्यूचर लीडर बोल रहे हैं मतलब तुरंत नहीं बनना है. तो क्या ये लीडर जो बन सकता है वो कौन हो सकता है? पहली बात तो ये, मैंने से लीडर cooperative. Leaders are of different types. A leader, and in fact, leaders motivate people. There are three types of motivation: theory X, theory Y, theory Z. Heard about that? In one theory, the motivation is all about, the theory states that people, humans, are essentially lazy. They won't work unless they are pushed to work. Okay? That is one theory of motivation in which, kind of you scare people. It was feudal mindset back in olden days. You get that, right? Slavery, all that stuff. You have to, kode se maro tabhi ye kaam karenge. That was one theory of motivation, which happened in, French Revolution, Industrial Revolution. It happened in the World War. It happened everywhere. The second theory is that people work when you kind of, show them warmth, love them, appreciate them. For example, leadership of Ram for Hanuman. Do you know about that? हनुमान बोलते हैं ना कि हनुमान जी की ताकतें याद नहीं थी, वो याद दिलानी पड़ती थी. चलो वो तरीका है लिखने का, बट वहां पे हो गया था. लीडरशिप राम वाज लाइक दैट. ओके, दिस पर्सन विल बी डूइंग वर्क इफ ही इज अप्रिशिएटेड अ लॉट. Ram knew that. He was a leader. And one theory is when you combine both the things. So these are the different theories of motivation. Leadership can be done in various ways. A leader can involve any theory or combination of two, or some leaders are like the lead by examples. So let's say they do something and they do it, and all people are seeing it. They learn by the leader and they also start doing it. So they can be different of leadership skills, and every person, every person has a skill which can transform to leadership in future. So that is what they will be looking at. If I talk more about it, it'll be a complete book, right? But when I'll take the PI rounds of yours in that, there I'll be giving you feedback. Now I think you have realized what I'm talking about, right? You got the hang of it. Can they handle challenges effectively? Okay, this we have covered already. I think there's a time for query. I have, okay, it's just the validation. Yes, driven by fear and pleasure. Gaurav says that. Gaurav, sometimes we are driven by excellence, right? Or sometimes appreciation. That's also kind of a driving force. Driven by love as well. I'll tell you what, my personal example, and see, I've always, like, me, right? I've been dealing with different sections of CAT, and there are certain things, when you tell your personal experiences, that is also kind of learning. Uh, being a bit more experienced than you guys, and being your friend, I always treat you like a friend, like my equal, right? So I'll tell you what motivated me to do things. It was love. I'm revealing things over here. So basically, all the women who have come to my life, starting from my mother, then my sister, then my girlfriend, who's not there anymore. Okay, and other any kind of, so somehow there's an energy that, okay, I want to, make this girl happy. And in the pursuit of that, there's one girl who was great in physics. I said, oh, I will do all the physics to impress her. So see, so we are also driven by love. You understand that? Has it happened with you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is also, so we can be driven by different kind of emotions, not just fear and pleasure. Like
Yeah,
Gaurav.
I just summarized everything into place, sir.
Okay, Gaurav. Great. Well, going to the next slide. Let's see what it has to offer us. I think, okay, Dwarakesh wanted to say something. Dwarakesh, yes, your turn.
Yes, sir. I have two questions. Like, since you told it is better to avoid generic topics like cricket, right? What if I'm kind of good about it? Like, is that okay?
If you're good, yeah, of course. If you feel that you're good in it, go about it. There's no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. Even if I don't know everything, right? I feel like I can put some efforts, like I can get deep into it and I can pull it off in the interview. So
Knowing everything in any topic is not possible.
yeah.
But if you think cricket is your hobby, then you should know. For example, let me ask you a question for cricket itself. Tell me, who do you think or who is considered to be the best all-rounder of all times?
Sir, actually, according to me, like the best thing is more of a subjective question, but still, I'll go with Jack Collis. So
Jack Callis.
yeah,
Who is considered? Jack Callis might be your choice, but who is
yeah,
considered?
yeah. Like in Indian perspective, everyone would go with Kapil there. Like I went with Jack Collis.
I don't think we will go with Kapil. Let's ask here itself. What about others? Tell me. If you have,
Jack Callis himself is considered. Jack Callis is the only one who is considered globally as the best all-rounder.
okay. Who said that? Harshit?
So Dheeraj said.
Dheeraj. Okay. Perfect. Well, so these kind of questions can be asked to you, and they can kind of ask who to the max. So these questions are some the superlatives they can be
Oh.
asking you, or sometimes they can if you emphasize more on it, they can go to specific questions as well.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. I'm okay with that. Like I'm okay with answering specific questions in cricket. So that, I mean, I can prepare well on umpire. So
Perfect
that's why.
then. Perfect. You can say that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. One other question was like you told about non-verbal communication, right? Like 90% it gives it out. Like I have this question in mind. See, actually, I may not be able to control everything. Like my body might give it out, but still, like, isn't that an positive sign? Like if you even if your body gives it out, like you're controlling it and answering calmly. Like is it not considered a positive sign, or it's just like his body is giving it out like he's not fit or something like that? How does the interviewer think or judge about it?
Um, then obviously they'll be confused. See, what happens, your verbal normal communication, if it has a gap and if it is different, both these things, they don't synchronize somehow. So what happens, like even if people are not experts, they somehow get there's something weird going on. Things you are saying are not making sense based on the expressions that your face or your hand movements are carrying. So that weird thing can be caught by the interviewers, and that can actually backfire. So the best way is to be honest. But having said that, you still have 30 days. And I told about writing all the points in which you need improvement. I'll tell you how to improve in those points.
Yes, sir. Like I just thought of asking you this question because like you may be confident with your answers. You are well prepared also, but still like you are just nervous about the process. Like this happened with me in CAT. Like I'm well prepared. I practice everything right, but still
No, in that case,
the
we
nerves
cannot control each and everything. If something happens at that point of time, that will be where your presence of mind will be tested. So that is something which is an extempore. It cannot be planned. We cannot plan everything. Just that we will try our best to plan things, but still, at that time, only 20% will be in our control. So how, and you love cricket, you know that. Net practice kitna bhi kar lo, real performance actually differs from that. Right. So अगर वो होगा तो उस टाइम देखना होगा और वो तुम खुद ही देखोगे ओके बट कोई बात नहीं वी विल बी टेकिंग लॉट ऑफ राउंड ऑफ इंटरव्यूज प्रोबेबली यू विल I'll grill you enough and you would be prepared. All right.
okay, sir.
And yeah,
Fine.
one thing more. I somehow think, I'm not sure, but it's that Barbados cricketer who was the best all-rounder, if I'm not wrong. Um, Garfield Sobers.
Yeah, he is also an all-rounder. Like he is the best out of his times. Yeah,
He was the
maybe.
best, I feel. It was
In
not
India, also
that.
Jadeja is one of the people considered to be the best all-rounder.
Sir,
Jadeja.
that's why I told you this
No, no, no,
answer
no,
is
no, no, no. I think it's
very
Garfield
subjective.
Sobers. Most of this is Garfield Sobers. Callis would come second. Chalo,
Okay.
anyways.
Yeah.
That you guys can just Google it out if it is
So
that.
should we go by ChatGPT, what it says?
What is that?
Jack Cullis.
Jack Ellis, it says. I don't
Yeah.
know. I
Second
think
is Ian Botham.
it's not
दूसरे
Garfield
हैं
Sobers.
सर गारफील्ड सोबर्स.
Garfield Sobers होना चाहिए मेरे ख्याल से. Anyways, चलो ये तो बात की बात है. You guys just check it out. Coming to types of interviews and their styles. The friendly mentor. Traits are conversational, warm, engaging, build rapport, but stay professional. Analytical observer is focused on details and logic, be precise in structured responses. Okay. Stress tester, intentionally challenging or critical. Stay calm, acknowledge tough questions and respond. Okay. देखो अब यहाँ पे क्या करना है? I'll give you examples. By the way, when I'm asking questions to right now, I'm not interviewing anyone, but whenever I'm asking something, what do you think I am in these three? Let's see.
Friendly mentor.
The friendly mentor.
A friendly
The
mentor.
analytical observer.
The analytical observer.
All right. Oh, cool. See, so what I'm doing right now is something which is my natural side, okay, which you guys have understood somehow. It also has a kind of background. You have seen me in the classes also. But you know what? I can be, I would say a stress tester. Like when it comes to actual PI rounds, depending on how you are, I'll change. I can stress you out, seriously. You want an example? अभी नहीं बाद में करेंगे. Okay, so basically, you know what? तो ये हम क्यों करेंगे? इसका रीजन ये है कि because I want you to go through different perspectives. Basically, I am an actor. I just act. I can act as anyone. Essentially, I'm a friendly mentor, which a lot of you have said. But when it comes to if I want you to feel the stress, I will do that. So how would I do that? Let's come to that. Right now, this session segment taken by only one person. That is me. Looking at this slide, it looks like there were three people, isn't it? तीनों क्या कर सकते हैं मैं बताता हूँ. जो मैंने अभी तक किया है फ्रेंडली मेंटोर था. एनालिटिकल ऑब्जर्वर मैं बनूंगा और मैं बोला है कि ठीक है वीडियोस अपने ऑन कर लो, तब भी वो कर नहीं रहा है ना. अदरवाइज आई वुड बी ऑब्जर्वर एज वेल. Now observation is not just visual, it's also thoughtful, your answers depending on all those things. So there'll be also kind of observation. So when the mentor is friendly, it doesn't mean, see, friendship is a word which is, again, it is very malleable, it's fluid. There are certain friends जिनके कंधे पे तुम सर रख के सो सकते हो, isn't it? There's some धक्का दे सकते हो, मारपीट कर सकते हो. It's there, isn't it? And there are some friends who are your friends in profession, maybe your senior. You cannot do all those things with him or her, but you can be friendly. तो यहाँ पे क्या है कि when someone becomes very friendly to you, basically a mentor, basically someone who is an interviewer, someone more experienced than you. So him or her being friendly is also a way to analyze you. Getting it? All these mentors, they have only one focus, and that is analyzing you. So by being friendly also, they will bring the that emotional intelligence out of you, or a kind of, they'll also feel that can this person kind of misuse his position. Getting it? Getting
Yes,
it?
sir.
People
Yes,
can
sir.
act, interviewers can act friendly. That's why क्या लिखा, टिप क्या लिखा है? You build rapport but stay professional. They will catch it. Analytical observer. Traits are focused on details and logic, obviously. Precise instruction responses, because that is what they want. If they focus on that, see, if I'm asking you a purely logical question, I'll be expecting a purely logical answer, which would not involve a lot of emotions, a lot of what do you say, rhetoric. The stress tester, intentionally challenge. यहाँ क्या लिखा है? Intentionally. ध्यान दिया इस बात पे. The keyword is intentionally. है ना? वो act करता है. See, there can be people who are very mean, stress you out. But do you think those kind of mean people who must have gone through this same interview process 20, 10, 15, 20 years before you would actually be mean and be there as interviewers, that's not possible. Getting it? So they do it intentionally. समझ गए इस बात को? जानबूझ के करेंगे देखने के लिए कि how you behave. So you have to stay calm. Acknowledge the question stuff. This is difficult. I don't know. Let me think. These are the responses. Getting it? So no one is there to, kind of grill you. उसको कुछ खुद को मजा नहीं आएगा. Sometimes situations demand that. और वो क्यों करेंगे ऐसा कि उनको लग जाएगा, उन्हें शक हो जाएगा एक बार को कि मुझे ऐसा लगता है बंदा है तो सही, लेकिन ना ये बंदा बंदी है तो सही, लेकिन मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि चैलेंज में दूंगा या दूंगी तो ये परेशान हो सकता है. लेट्स चेक इट आउट. Then they start doing it. Okay. Well, let's go to the next one. Do you understand this, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding the stress interview. May I ask?
Who's that?
Shreyas.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, actually, when I gave last time IIT Bombay's interview, so he was asking me, I'm from Maharashtra, and so he was asking me about the Maharashtra-Karnataka border issue. So I gave his my opinion about the Belgaum issue, which is well known. And then he like started digging down the issue for at least for 7 to 8 minutes. And he said, I don't know much about that. And still he was asking. Literally, he made me cried at that particular moment. So like, how should we handle this such kind of issues, condition?
So even if he said you don't know, he kept on asking.
Yeah, I said no. Like, yeah, I just have the knowledge from the news. I don't belong to that part of Maharashtra. So I don't know much about like what's exactly happening there.
In the end, the only concluding answer can be, sir or ma'am, whoever it was. I will try to, kind of enlighten myself more through going through a lot of issues which are relevant, to my state or to my culture. So I have taken a kind of a learning from this interview that I'll be looking into these things more. That's it.
Okay,
So
so like end on a positive note and like try to conclude the conversation.
exactly. See, if he's challenging you, एक, have you heard, like, there are a lot of stories, in our Purans and everywhere. When there is a teacher, the trainer, it can be a person who is an archer, all that stuff is there. These guys sometimes did very arrogant things, isn't it?
Yes,
आज हम पढ़ते हैं कोई पुराने हमारे कोई भगवान देवता जिनको हम बोलते हैं. सो तो ऐसा लगता है कि यार ये लोग ऐसा भी कर रहे हैं, ये तो महान लोग होने चाहिए, ये ऐसे काम क्यों कर रहे हैं.
Right.
Right. There are a lot of rishis like that. Durvasa Rishi, infamous for his anger. है ना, कोई मिला श्राप दे दिया. So all that stuff was happening. So what these guys actually wanted, they wanted that the people who are there in front of them or whom they are interacting with, see, these people are excellent. And the problem with the excellent or brilliant people is they want the same kind of brilliance from everyone. And if they do not get it, they want that these guys should be able to attain that brilliance. They should be ready for attaining that brilliance. The moment they feel that you're ready for it, they'll leave you. Okay. So that is what you do in such situations. All right. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome. Dressing for wear formal business attire. This is something which you know. Formal business attire, ensure clothes are clean, well fitted, and neutral tones like navy, black, gray, minimal, elegant accessories. Elegant accessories. Now, here comes when we talk about accessories, and if there is anyone over here who's a pseudo feminist, don't blast me away. See, accessories normally, majorly, girls wear more accessories than boys. That is, you agree to it? Yes or no? You agree, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, the accessories can also be specs. The guys can wear it. Some guys can be wearing this kundals. कई बार उनके राजस्थान में होता है कर्ण छिद्रन, महाराष्ट्र में भी होता है. That is something which is kind of cultural. But so I'll talk about majorly females accessories that you wear. Let's say you're wearing a ring, okay, or a stud, ear stud. It should be stud. Ear stud हो तो अच्छा रहेगा, छोटा हो बहुत बड़ा वो danglers ना हो. You understand that, right? And there's something which you guys understand. Should be minimal and elegant. When I say elegant, so it should be, very maybe silver or platinum, not very shiny. उसमें बहुत सारे वो मोती और नग ना लगे हो. So something like that. Is that clear? Got it?
Yes, sir.
So I think you guys know it more than me. Don'ts. Avoid loud patterns or bright colors. Yeah, okay, you understand that. अब ऐसा मत करना ना कोई कोई आपने कोई बंदा आपने वो पहना कुछ और आगे यहाँ पे वो स्कल वाला लॉकेट पहन लिया. डोंट डू दैट. राइट. That was just for humor. Nobody does that. Behavioral diverse psychology in action. How to build trust. Maintain consistent eye contact. You know what? I'll give you, a psychological perspective over here. If you look in someone's eyes without blinking for 20 seconds, you'll start feeling connected to him or her. Do you know that? That's psychological. It's been studied. So when you maintain consistent eye contact, of course, with the natural blinking that we have, people have the varied blinking speed, but it should be consistent. When it is done, automatically trust builds up. You should stare नहीं करना कि मैं ऐसे देख ही रहा हूँ कि हाँ शौविक को देख रहा हूँ बहुत सही अच्छा ये. So not that है ना. So we have to somehow consistent होना चाहिए. Obviously, you're thinking something, your eyes automatically beyond your control would go up to the ceiling or somewhere, in the air, not to a fixed point. If that happens, that's okay. But this should not happen more than often. Otherwise, it will feel like that you are a very confused person. Okay, so let's say there are 10 instances. So in at least 6 instances, you're looking at the person, eyes, और बाकी 4 में आप यहाँ वहाँ देख के सोच सकते हो. ऐसे बस देख ऐसे वैसे नहीं देखना, जानबूझ के नहीं देखना. एंड ऑल्सो दिस वन थिंग मोर, नेवर ट्राई टू, इफ यू आर नॉट लुकिंग एट द आईज ऑफ द पर्सन, do not look beyond the nose. Do not do that ever. That is considered to be very, very, very disrespectful and rude. नाक के नीचे देखना ही नहीं है, लिप्स पे, चिन पे या उसके. नेवर डू दैट, नेवर. ये मैं बार बार एम्फेसाइज कर रहा हूँ. ये सिर्फ इंटरव्यूज में नहीं, इन द रियल लाइफ ऑल्सो यू नेवर डू दैट. पॉसिबली दे विल थिंक दैट दिस पर्सन कितना भी इंटेलिजेंट होगा पर ये पक्का रूड है. ही इज डजंट हैव मैनर्स एटिक्वेट्स. ओके, वेल, यूज ओपन बॉडी लैंग्वेज. Open body language, what does that mean? See, I'll show you my hands. Okay, let me have this grid video. Okay, so these are my hands. All right, and I'm a right-handed person, so normally my right hand will be more active than my left hand, like even subconsciously I cannot control it, right? So when I would be kind of saying something, देखो कैसे किया मैंने. When I'll be saying something, two ways, looking at me, saying something, what do you feel is better? What do you like more?
Second one, because it
Yeah,
looks
so
a little
One is a
polite.
little assertive.
Yes, Amrinder, exactly. When I say do it like this, that means I am dominating the scene. This is not a good idea. This is पूरा ऐसे नहीं करूंगा. It will look weird because that is not this goes against anatomy of humans. But this is okay. This means when your palm is open. See, when do you open your palms? When you take
To
something,
give,
right? When someone
see,
gives you something, you open your palm. है ना? अगर तुम्हें जाके रसगुल्ले गोलगप्पे खाने हो तो ऐसे उठाओगे ना, यहाँ रख दो. No, that's not possible. So opening palms means that you are accepting things. Getting it? This body language will be there. So whenever you say something not, और वो बात है वो जब वो जो नाजी पार्टी वो हिटलर को वो ऐसे करता था, याद है? कभी हिटलर ने ऐसे या ऐसे ऐसे नहीं किया, हमेशा ऐसे किया. He was a dominator. All of us know that. एक ये है. दूसरा, when I have to pinpoint on something, Pinpoint. Pin. How is pin? Pinpoint. This is the exact way to pinpoint on things. Zeal, look at this. The exact thing. The exact way to pinpoint. ये नहीं करना. ये. This is like, you are kind of challenging people. In fact, in animal kingdom, अब तो हम इंसान हैं, हम लोगों को मर्डर नहीं करते ना गुस्से में आके. We have been civilized. We are civilized now. Civilization के पहले यूं किसी को कर देने का मतलब पता था कि he or she is challenging you and people will go and fight, aggressively back in. आज भी अगर जो प्राइमेट्स हैं, नॉन ह्यूमन प्राइमेट्स, चिंपैंजी, गोरिल्ला, ओरेंगुटैन, सामने दिख जाए, उसकी आंखों में तुम देख लो 10 सेकंड, वो तुम्हें मार देगा. यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट? और यूं कर दो, पक्का मार देगा. You getting it? So you have to pinpoint on things not like this. So we are essentially, our psychology, our entire personality is built of three things, four things actually. You know that? Anima, animus. सुना है इसके बारे में? Anima, animus. दो और words हैं, मुझे याद नहीं. I'm not a psychologist. So see, I'll tell you what does this mean. Anima is the a female side of a male. Animus is the male side of a female. And the other two things is one is the animal side of a person. And fourth is called persona. It's the mask that you wear in front of people. You are always acting. The moment when you're not acting is either you're sleeping or you are dead. Otherwise, you always wear a mask. Yes or no? That's the persona. Okay. So that female part, normally, by convention, it's been said the female part of the any human, it's majorly good at computation, caring, sincerity, and loyalty. Okay, and the male part is majorly in analysis. What do you say? Ambition. So these two parts have been divided like this by Sigmund Freud. And the animal part of it. See, we all are essentially animals, isn't it? तो जो भी चीजें चैलेंजिंग लगती हैं हमको आज भी, हम उस पर रिएक्ट करें या ना करें बिकॉज ऑफ आवर एजुकेशन, बट स्टिल दैट्स व्हाई आई सेड नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन. Point finger like this, people will get offended. Never do that. Pinpoint ऐसे करना है. Is that clear? This means you have presented the point correctly, and at the very same time, you are under your control. You are self-aware that how your body is behaving. You're aware about the body. That's the best thing that a person can do. That is open body language. अच्छा, बात करते थे यूं बैठ जाओ. अब सोचो मैं तुम्हें कुछ सिखा रहा हूं, मैं ऐसे सिखाने लगूं, क्या सोचोगे? See, it's that you guys who are here and I already have a lot of rapport build हमारा हो चुका है एक साल से. तो अगर मैं ऐसे बैठ जाऊँ तो मैं लगेगा कि शायद ठंड लग रही होगी, ऐसा मान लोगे. तुम ये नहीं बोलोगे बंदा रूड है. तो तुम फर्स्ट टाइम मुझसे मिलते और मैं ऐसा करता, हाँ ठीक, तुम क्या बोलते यार, पता नहीं, थोड़े अजीब से हैं, राइट? सो दिस इज समथिंग इज क्लोज बॉडी लैंग्वेज. मुझे सुनना ही नहीं है, हाँ ठीक है करो. तो ये तो करना ही नहीं, ऑब्वियसली ये तो कभी नहीं करना चाहिए. So, and when you sit, be it a man or be it a woman, your backbone should be straight, like a robot. No, stiff, straight but not stiff. That is very much important. Also, how would someone know your backbone is stiff and not straight? जब तुम्हारा ये वाला portion है ना, this part of brain, रिब है, ये वाला जॉइंट, अगर ये सीधा हो गया इस तरह से, मतलब कि तुम स्टिफ हो गए हो. देयर इज it is overdone. That should not be done. Then smile genuinely when appropriate, obviously. Appropriate होगा तो अपने आप ही स्माइल जेन्युइन. तो जो you can you why people are not showing their face. तुम लोग तो ऐसे रिजेक्ट हो जाओगे इस तरह, पता है, शक्ल नहीं दिखा रहे मेरे को अपनी, मुझसे डर रहे हो जो जानते हो पहले से ही. How to show interest? Not while listening. There is something which is not, or under our control. We obviously not while listening. होता है ना. ये सुना है कि बचपन में मुझे याद है मेरी कभी दादी, कभी नानी, कभी मम्मी कहानी सुनाती थी, और मैं ना, तो ऐसा था कि मेरे को बोलना पड़ेगा आफ्टर एवरी सेंटेंस और टू सेंटेंस. इफ आई डोंट से दैट दे गेट पिस्ड ऑफ. सुन रहे हो क्या? हाँ सुन रहा हूँ, तो तो बोलो. यू गेटिंग इट? So this sound when you say your head automatically nods. होता है ऐसा. You can't control that. तुम ऐसे करके नहीं बोल पाओगे, बोल ही नहीं पाओगे. It's impossible. So is a sound which is meaningless, isn't it? It's a meaningless sound. It's an onomatopoeia. You know what is onomatopoeia? The figure of speech. The words which have got no meaning but still they are relevant. So that the sound is basically non-verbal verbal signal to show people that we are non-verbally there. Because the stories that were told to you were majorly in the night. Light come आती है. Getting it? That's why वाला culture आया था. So you should not while listening कि हाँ मैं समझ रहा हूँ. Ask thoughtful questions. Obviously, that is, I don't need to explain that. Respond with curiosity about gap years और transitions. हाँ ये है. ये एग्जाम्पल है. तुमने पूछ लेगा वो ना कि अगर गैप ईयर की बात है, ट्रांजिशन. चलो इसको तो मैं आई थिंक इन द पीआई राउंड आई विल टेक दैट अप. दिस इज अगेन अ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ गेम ऑल टुगेदर. रणवीर इलाहाबादी सिद्धांत एग्जैक्टली बहुत करता है वो ओवरडू कर देता है. वैसे that is overdone, right? So, and people have kind of, went set against that. ठीक है, हर कोई हल्का करना, नॉट करना चाहिए, बट वो ओवरडू कर रहा होता है probably, and you know what, and he's doing genuinely also. When I look at him, he is overdoing it, but it was genuine. वो जानबूझ के नहीं कर रहा. हो सकता है कि उसने बचपन में इतना कर दिया हो कि अब वो उसकी जो चीज जो वियर्ड थी वो उसकी नॉर्मल हैबिट बन चुकी है.
Sir, he disclosed once that he is supposedly supposed to do this because he has some, a problem. He might say, I'm not using a harsh word, but to show attention or emphasize attention, he needs to do that regularly.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said, धीरज. कि ना कई बार होता है ना कि हम ना कोई चीज बहुत ज्यादा करते हैं बचपन में, हमें पता नहीं होता. We kind of copy the society, isn't it? So let's say that somehow you do it like this and you do it like this. So maybe he has done a lot in his childhood. I mean, I'm not being harsh. अब वो क्या हुआ है कि now that thing which was probably weird for others might be normal for him. Right? You got it, Dheeraj.
Hello, sir. I have a question regarding appropriate attire.
Yeah.
I have had a gray head hair, and they grow as if they are black on the roots and they are gray at the ends. So they appear as if I have highlighted them. So should I dye my hair?
I want to see this.
My device right now does not have a camera.
Okay.
So I'll send you a picture though if you want to later.
Again, how is it? Black roots and
Like it is black on the roots, but as it grows ahead, on the ends it's gray and white. Like 80% of it is white.
acha. Okay, so that is a condition, right? It has
Yes, but
naturally
like
become white. It's okay.
it gets unwanted attention, but it is natural.
Attention. You can dye it. It's okay. Use dark brown.
And what about tattoos, sir? Like tattoos on neck or something like that?
Where is the tattoo?
North.
No. I mean, which neck?
Like neck. Right side of the neck, it's north tattoo. I am from an architecture background, so yeah.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay. They won't mind the tattoos. In army, they ask you to remove the tattoo before joining, but there it's okay. They might ask a question if they see it, and you can
Sorry.
perfectly, right? That won't be a problem. Dheeraj, I said something. Are we in sync?
Right, sir, we are in sync, but I was about to ask you a couple of things. I had instances from the auxiliary interview last year, if I could discuss. I am still doubtful where I went wrong. So, regarding uh, the right point was pointed out in the type of interviewers and the styles, right? So, I'm an IT engineer and they saw that I had scored decently in machine learning. So,
Okay.
they asked me on machine learning. The
Hmm.
first question of his was, what is machine learning? So, I defined it.
Okay.
He didn't feel, satisfied, so he reiterated the same thing. And in counter, I added the types of machine learning and explained them briefly, right? Just to make sure that I have added on to something.
Hmm.
But still, he re-emphasized the third time the same question, Dheeraj, what is machine learning? So at that time, I thought that I have answered whatever I knew. And I told him very patiently and very politely that whatever I could phrase I've already answered in the first couple of attempts. So was it the correct answer, or should I have reiterated the second answer again, or should I have added something? I'm still
Yeah.
skeptical with it, even
Yeah.
after 9 months.
Yeah, I think this is a similar case to what I think someone asked.
Yeah, that time that's why I didn't ask, but I was still curious.
Yeah, 20 minutes back, right? Um, Someone was grilling someone. Who was that? I think Harshit was there. So you can see the same thing, which I told Harshit in the end, that it's not that I have told you whatever I can. No, that's not a good thing to do. This is all I know. Okay, so it's just the choice of words. That's it.
Right.
Nothing else. So, as you've told me, and I'll remember this, I have very sharp memory. I'll grill you on this in the interview, in the
So
PI round.
this time I'll have a better answer for sure. I don't want to drop out of auxiliary again.
Great.
But
That's great.
yeah, so another last thing,
Mhm.
I gave him my Great Lakes interview last weekend,
Mhm.
and there the changes that the interviewers can see are scores. Okay, so
Keyword
CAT
scores.
scores and ZAT scores,
Okay.
right? So there he chose to question my CAT scores. That how was a CAT 24? CAT 24 results didn't were not updated that time. So I told him that verbal was a challenge. So he picked up my CAT 23 scores and said that I can see that from your CAT 23 scores also. But I could have, uh, sharply given him the answer that that's not the case because I've scored decent in ZAT 24 in verbal section. But I didn't choose to say that. I just stayed silent. So should I have highlighted ZAT 23, ZAT 24 scores as my strength, or the way I stood silent was the right?
Remaining silent wasn't the right thing to do. Highlighting that score is again not the right thing to do.
But he
Telling
kind
the
of challenged me, right, on my verbal skills.
I'm telling you, telling your Z score is the right thing to do, but not highlighting it. Getting it?
Hmm.
Subtle. You must say, oh, okay, at that point of time, it was maybe a bad day, and
Hmm.
I could not do the questions for which I was prepared, but in the second chance, which was that, I did what I was prepared for. That's it.
Right. In fact, the entire exam is different. I mean, we do not have the same structure
Yeah.
of the verbal section, so everyone has its own strengths and weakness.
Yes,
So
but
that's
still,
why
you
that
don't
is
need to
much better to
explain.
attempt.
Yeah, you don't need to explain the entire structure.
Right. Okay.
I said just in one sentence, right?
Right.
That is enough. Just
Okay.
7 words, and it's done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
So, may I ask something to
Yeah,
Dheeraj?
Kushal. Yeah.
Yeah, Dheeraj, there's one thing. Since you applied to Great Lakes and they took your interview for this year, like they were able to access your CAT 2023 scores as well.
They take admissions through CAT 23 also. This
Okay,
year's
okay, I
score and
understand. So you
last year's scores
submitted the
are
scores to them.
right. During the application, I had typed in my CAT 23 scores,
Okay,
and they take present year scores and the last year scores to evaluate you.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Bye.
Melanie has just joined, and she's asking whether session has. Melanie, you are late. Piyush, you want to ask something?
Yes, sir. Sir, I wanted to ask that whether should we try to manipulate during the interview by saying that, telling a hobby like volleyball, and I have prepared like 80 to 100 questions inside out. I have prepared about it so that I can tackle all the questions.
80 to 100 questions on volleyball
Like
itself.
learning about inside out about everything about that sport.
Wow. Uh-huh. What should I say here? Have you played volleyball ever?
No, sir. Actually, I have attended a session 2 days ago of Deepak Agarwal, alumni
Yeah,
of
I'm
I'm
Bangalore.
Bangalore, and he told that he had prepared for volleyball like this, and he had prepared inside out about it, and he had played also. He told us, but I haven't played, so I can do that thing.
Piyush, this is a difficult question to answer, even for me. Uh, you know why? Because what are the questions I prepared? The superlatives, the records, the stats, right?
Yes, sir, everything like about the teams, tournaments, about like rules,
You can do
scoring
one thing,
points.
Piyush, you can say watching volleyball is my hobby. Playing मत बोलना बस ठीक है
Okay.
हो गया that's the thing, right? You just watch it, you don't play it. Yeah, issue.
Sir, I wanted to ask that few days ago, I just visited a coaching center near my house, and I have a work ex of like I have a gap year of 1.5 year approx. So we were discussing about like why I have a gap year and for 5 to 6 minutes. So rather than discussing that, how can I justify or what things can I do to fill my gap years? So I wanted to ask, will I get a chance here to like if I take the course to like get suggestions what can I do in the limited time that I have to justify my gap year.
Okay, you're not a part of eye contact, you're saying that.
No.
Okay, issue. See, I'm not a salesperson. I won't pitch the sales here. Okay, कि join कर लो हो जाएगा. No, I'm a person who is here to mentor you. I'll tell the exact answer which you want to hear. Gap years के बारे में जल्दी पूछते भी नहीं है. सच्चाई ये है. If it is a top B schools, and even if they ask, so you have to tell me more, you give me more information that why the gap year was there. And then I can, kind of rephrase your answer in a better way so that it suits the purpose. That can be done. Majorly, they don't
Okay.
even ask. From my
And
experience, from my friends' experience, like a lot of people, my friends, students are there. So majorly, like it's just a chance of asking it is less than 10%.
okay, but will I get some suggestions that what can I do to like tell them that
Obviously, that's what I said. If you first of all, you tell to your story that what was the reason for your gap years and how it should be portrayed or presented in the front of the panel. That is something which we will obviously do.
okay, sir, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. Communication, I think I just did that, right? Be concise, articulate, avoid unnecessary jargon. You know what is jargon? The words which are not normally used, the rarely used words. For example, halabaloo. Heard about this
How
one?
they talk like in Bridgerton, I guess.
Halabaloo.
Uh, they
This
use
one,
very technical English terms, very typical English terms, which very few people know about.
who does that?
And I have seen a series, Bridgerton. If you
Which
must
one?
have
Which
heard,
one? Which one?
Bridgerton.
Oh, Bridgerton. Okay, you Bridgerton.
Uh,
Okay.
yes, the old British English is
No,
it
no,
uses
no.
so many
Yeah.
difficult
So
words.
in Bridgerton, it's necessary actually because it was
Yes,
based in that era. Uh,
yes.
um, I'm saying like present in the present world, would you like a word like halabaloo? What about that word? Halabaloo is chaos. No. So we don't use that word or the words which normally Tharoor uses. Tharoor, he uses that, right? Reparations is a word. You know what is reparations? So a lot of people don't know it. So we should, avoid that because the thing is, people, the panel also, they are not, kind of the people who are writers. Even the writers don't know such words. So we should avoid that. Jargons can also be from some particular field. Technical jargons can be there. Okay. So let's say you are into analysis, Python language, stats, parts of it. and you kind of use this term, analysis in even the normal relations, right? You think you tell about someone and you say, okay, when I was present in I was heading the cultural committee or maybe any kind of committee in my college, and I gathered all the data from different data points. Getting it? If you talk like this is not necessary, isn't it? From different data points, I gathered the raw data, and after that, I had to run it through a brute force. So I'm using that jargon. All of you getting it? You get the idea? You don't use that. You just say, okay, I was heading the committee. There's a lot of things which we analyzed and we did that. Is that clear? Yeah, clear?
Yes.
Great. Non-verbal, straight posture, I told you already. Avoid fidgeting or crossing your arms. बता चुका हूँ पहले मैं. Why do you want to join the MBA program? Response, focus on global leadership. LIM. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next one. Do's and don'ts. Research the program and interviewer. अब problem क्या है कि interviewer पता ही नहीं चलेगा आपको तो कैसे research करोगे? चल गया पता तो कर ले. Prepare examples for common behavioral questions. Common behavioral questions. Practice mock interviews, वो तो हम कराएंगे ही. शायद हम behavioral questions के लिए हैं कि क्या कैसे होने चाहिए. तो let's say, what are behavioral questions? So you must have, there is a thing called, back in school days, it was called scrapbook. Like in my school days was there. I'm 10 years senior to you guys, on an average. तो 10 साल पहले वाले स्कूल में तो था स्क्रैप बुक. तुम लोग स्कूल में था क्या?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in scrapbook, they were the kind of questions that they asked. वो वही behavioral questions हैं. वो नहीं कि who is your crush? No, not that one. What do your friends think about you? How do they know you? What do they call you? तो ये थोड़ा उसी को थोड़ा serious tone में those are behavioral questions. Clear? So you can practice the examples for it. Don't memorize answers, obviously. वरना वो हाल हो जाएगा. एक मूवी देखी थी मैंने जहाँ पे उसको there was some girl और उसका जो father था, he wanted a groom who would speak in English, right? So he always asked an essay on cow. This girl loves a guy और वो जाके बोलती है कि तुम चलो और ये रट लो. Okay, and then he asked the essay on India और वो cow के बारे में बोल देता है पूरा. तो वो ना हो जाए. Don't memorize answers over there. Keep them natural. Don't interrupt the interviewer. Obviously, you don't interrupt even in normal conversations unless you are having some fights. Avoid negative comments about past employers or experience. देखो, किसने शुरुआत में मैंने एक सवाल पूछा था तो क्या बोला था कि वो मेरे को हमेशा प्रोफेशनल लोग ही हमने इनवाइट किए थे. Who was that? That was a negative comment.
Sir, sorry. Yes, sir.
Okay. Don't have to be sorry. It's learning, right? We are learning.
Yeah, yeah.
Coming to, ये ना बड़ा PPT अजीब सा क्यों हो गया? I don't know. There's some kind of problem with my extension, maybe. Anyways, psychological traps on expected questions or criticism. Yeah, some people who have already faced interviews, like someone, a lot of people told me that take a deep breath, clarify and respond calmly. अब deep breath ना ऐसे पता नहीं deep breath दिखाई दे लोगों को. ये करोगे आंख बंद किया फिर कपालभाति नहीं करनी वहां पे, है ना? तो you have to deep breath like this. Okay, that is deep breath. Deep breath, matlab, it's not literal. Deep breath is, again, I think it's a rhetoric. You just have to calm your mind. That's it. You know it, what has to be done. Trap, silent pauses, don't rush, time to formulate a thoughtful answer. Obviously, some people feel that if they, stop in between their speech or their replies, they're somehow committing a crime. Like they think that people will think that they don't know the answers. It's not that. You take pauses because you think. You're getting it? And if you have watched the orators, the best orators in the world, those people do not rush. They are, they have this gravity in their voice. Obviously, voice texture can be different for different people, but they somehow, they sometimes respond to some queries and they stop in between. They pause for a while. The best example is our late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, isn't it? His pause was too long. Don't do that because he was a prime minister and people were okay. We can listen to him. तो वहाँ woman वाजपेयी जी से जैसा मत कर लेना. लेकिन हाँ, you can take the pause. That's not a problem. Hypothetical or ethical dilemmas showcase decision-making skills and values. Ethical dilemma, ठीक है. That is situation reaction test basically. Suraj wants to ask something. Yeah, Suraj. Suraj, you want to ask something? No? Okay. Sample scenario stress question. What's your biggest failure? Describe a time you led without authority. So this is something which I've already told you. See, this is STAR method: situation, task, action, result. There are some methods. The one is called PESTEL. Heard about that? PESTEL, way of answering things. Issue, Khushi, Harshit, the people who are I can see right now. Shravik and Zeal. PESTEL, psychological, economical, social, technological, and ecology, and then comes L is for, I think, legal. Okay, so we analyze every question from these six perspectives and try to frame an answer. So these things, there are some kind of defined or generalized methods in framing answers or writing journals or speaking in a professional setup. So those things like यहाँ लिखा है STAR method from, of course, this will be started soon. We'll be discussing with different kind of methods to arrive to a conclusion. All right. These are psychological methods which have been prepared by people. Checklist, update, rehearse responses, prepare documents, get a good night's sleep, plan your travel, and arrive early. Obviously, there is an unsaid rule. All of you know that. So this is all about the slide. I'll just stop sharing and let us go to how I contact and help. That's also there. Okay. Yeah, this is important. So you did 6 GD or VAT sessions with real time. Or maybe they will want we'll start doing that. The topics can be, weird actually. Like in MDI, they ask GDs, they conduct GDs. It's the topics can be concurrent issues, current affairs. It can be some business news based article, something which is, based on current affairs or concurrent issues. Sometimes it can be a situation. I'll tell you what, back in when my day was preparing for CAT, there were two very critical kind of GDs which I faced. I'll tell you one, very, very important. So they told us, we were like, and it was mock GD. We were like eight aspirants, and the topic was, it was situation. They said that, okay, you eight are, you are friends, acquaintances, you are there, and you guys have gone to some expedition. Okay, and there's a hot air balloon. You all are enjoying the, this ride, all eight of you, and then you realize that the operator tells you that this balloon will be, kind of uh, it's about to fail. The mechanism has failed, and it will, you all of you will die, but you can save one person can be saved only. It can handle only one person's fate and one my weight. I'm the operator. So all of you have to present your case in such a way that you should be deemed the best to survive or to be saved. See how difficult this is. I want you to take a, good 20 seconds to absorb this and think about it.
Sir, who all are the people in the balloon?
Those
Like
eight
what are their
aspirants.
professions and
नहीं नहीं वो 8 aspirants हैं.
Okay.
You guys. तो अब अपने बारे में बताना है. That's the problem. No, you don't have to role play. That is easy. You will say, okay, I'm an engineer, I'm a scientist, I'm that. No, you are Z. That's it. He is Shavik. वो issue है, वो खुशी है, वो हर्षित है. So, नहीं, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा तुम करना शुरू कर दो. But I'm just telling you, see, such a topic in which, people can actually, they can lose their chips, isn't it? In fact, it started. At one time, one guy was like, he became furious. He was like, no, you know what? All of you are stupids. You are assholes. You should be killed. Only I should survive. वो बंदा यहाँ तक पहुंच गया था 15 मिनट में. So, and you know what? Thinking that this cannot happen, this can happen. This happens. Humans are capable of doing things which you are not yet aware of. It's just the right conditions or the wrong conditions, not always right. So these kind of GDs can, kick the evil out of you. So be prepared for that as well. Maybe I'll take this GD up in the mock GD. ये तो करना है ना. इसमें देखते हैं
Sir,
लोग कैसे अपना केस प्रेजेंट करेंगे. Who should survive, who should not.
excuse me, sir.
Yeah, Mahima.
Sir, can we narrate a story that is not actually true, like some role play, कोई imaginary बंदे के according बता दें?
नहीं, वहां तो बोला
मतलब
गया है ना कि वो आप ही हो.
नहीं
क्वेश्चन.
नहीं, like the interview don't know us, so we can pitch some story
अच्छा,
that will work
people
in
don't
our
know you.
favor.
You think that तुम वहां पे गई हो, तुम्हारा रिज्यूमे सब कुछ उनके
No
पास
no,
है.
except resume. resume सिर्फ में तो एक हमारी प्रोफेशनल लाइफ होती है. हम
हम्म.
लोग स्टोरी में अपनी पर्सनल लाइफ पिच कर सकते हैं, लाइक आई एम
हाँ,
एन ओल्ड
कर दो. हाँ, वहां वहां भी तो
आई
ऑब्वियस
डोंट हैव अ फादर, लाइक इस टाइप से वी कैन डू दैट,
किया था
ताकि वो
लोगों
एक
ने. महिमा
इमोशनल
लोगों ने.
पॉइंट मिल जाए.
हाँ, ऐसा तुम्हें लग रहा है ना मिल जाएगा.
नहीं, आई एम आस्किंग दैट. आई एम नॉट
ऐसा लोगों
अवेयर
ने
ऑफ दैट.
वहां पे एक ने किया भी था कि आई एम द
ओके.
सोल ब्रेड अर्नर ऑफ माय फैमिली.
हाँ, यस इज लाइक दैट ओनली.
हाँ, तो वो करके देख लेना. करेंगे इस पे मॉक जीडी.
ओके.
तब बताऊंगा ना. अभी बता दूंगा तो लोग बायस्ड हो जाएंगे. कोई नहीं करेगा उसके बाद ये वाला काम. या क्या पता हर कोई करने लगे. So I won't tell you what exactly has to be done there. Okay.
ओके.
And then
All
the
the best.
other GD topic which was a part of which created a mark in my memory. One is this. Other is the topic was, I think I discussed that in some CAT class. It was called Pink Flag on Blue Temple. चलो एक काम करो, इसको लिख लो. Pink Flag on Blue
Sir,
Temple.
you discussed it in Nagpur live.
Oh, Siddhant, yes. So I did that there. And we met. Okay. So those who were not a part of it, a lot of people were not a part of it. So you can just, write it down somewhere and try to come up with a point. आज करना है इसको. जब भी हम नेक्स्ट मिलेंगे या फिर फेसबुक ग्रुप जो हमारा है, लाइक सम पीपल हु आर नॉट पार्ट ऑफ आई लाइक इशू ईशानी हु वाज दैट, और भी जो लोग हैं, तो वो ना इस पे कुछ भी लिख के थोड़े पॉइंटर्स फेसबुक ग्रुप जाए आई वांट वहां डालना. टैग मी पिंक फ्लैग और ब्लू टेम्पल. हमने ये लिखा है. That's the pointers or maybe the entire what I want to say. Well, real time feedback. Real time मतलब क्या हुआ? जैसे ही खत्म हुआ आपका GD वैट इंस्टेंटली फीडबैक मिल जाएगा. 1-to-1 mock interviews, detailed mentor feedback. 5 rounds will be there. Now, this is not, we are fixed on that. ये शौविक बोल रहा है कि नहीं सर मेरे को ना 7 जगह से कॉल है, आप 5 ही ले रहे हो, बाकी 2 कॉलेज अजीब से उनके भी ले लो. नहीं लूंगा, मैं 5 ही करूंगा. ऐसा नहीं है. So it's it's 5, like it will be there, but in some cases in which we think that it is required to take more, we'll take more as well. Clear? 80 plus mentors from TK top B schools. We have a team. I think Deepak must have told you that. Guidance, stress, and curveball questions, domain specific sessions. There's about marketing, finance, operation. They'll ask about that. Case study, guesstimate training, current affairs, case study. Yeah, they have a PDF. They have made a PDF in which there'll be current affairs, पूरा compiled है, case study भी compiled है, and networking, all those things will be there. Into transcripts भी है. So you'll be getting a kind of a package. There's a lot of PDFs which have been prepared for the interview. But in addition to all of it, the most important thing is that you guys should wear your attitude. Start behaving like you are in B school right now. Okay. Cooperate, collaborate. And I'm surprised to see, even after me, iterating it thrice, that open your cameras, only 2 or 3 people did. That's really strange. Right? You get that? That's actually strange. So next time, be prepared. Probably you are somewhere you cannot, and some devices are not working. They don't have camera. That's okay. But the next time that we meet, you should be with the devices or in the place that you can actually show your faces to me. People who show the faces are the people who are the bravest people, isn't it? I'm not saying someone who doesn't have a camera right now, but normally you should be ready for it. It's a session. See, I'm showing my face, isn't it? I could have off web की वीडियो थोड़ा चाय में पी ले सकता हूँ, but no. This is a professional setup. It's a mentorship session in which we are discussing things, real relevant things to your life, and to certain extent my life as well. So we should be prepared for this. Start wearing your attitude right away. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay, Xiaomi recording session. Yeah, Deepak will be looking. Deepak is the program manager for this. I think he'll be sharing the recording. You can ask him. So that's all from my side. Anything you want to ask?
I just have one question.
Yeah, who's that?
Shovik.
Shovik, yeah, Shovik.
Yes, sir. So, in general, whenever I speak in groups or with anybody, I start with namaskaram instead of a hello. Is it possible over there also I can
Yeah,
start with
it's okay.
namaskaram, or I have to be like,
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
all
That's no
right,
problem. That's okay. That's okay. Namaskaram isn't. In fact, it sounds really good. Zeal.
okay, sir.
Zeal क्या बोल रही है? You just show the analytical observer side of yours. Yes, Zeal, you got it. And still you're not opening the camera. Now I'm the stress wala part. Okay.
Sir, my camera is on.
Shit. I thought, that was someone else.
No, sir. Actually, for the first half hour, I was commuting from my office, so that's why I didn't want to disturb
Okay.
others. But as soon as I got home, I opened it.
All right, cool then. So that is the नहीं वो मैंने दूसरा बोला था for the stress वाला part. So that can also be done. Anyways, so I think I enjoyed this. It's like after a year that I'm doing something like this, apart from I won't say monotonous, but kind of predictable sessions of Quant LRD and BARC. There's something which we're doing different this time. And a lot of you already know me, and I know you guys. So I think this is something new, and I enjoyed that. What about you guys?
It was really, really fun.
Yes,
Actually.
sir. We enjoyed it
It's
too. It
more
was insightful.
informative.
Great. And I hope this is not just for, making me happy. Oh, I enjoyed it. No, I'll be happy if you have noted down all those points that I discussed and work on it starting from right away. The next time when I meet, मुझे याद रहेगा कि क्या मैंने बोला था और क्या तुम लोगों ने मुझे बोला था कि हम करके आएंगे, है ना? So be prepared with it. All those things. And chalo, so let's grab this goddamn second stage of CAT. First is over. All right then. Bye-bye, everyone. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.